Okay. Just gonna wait. I don't see it popping up yet. Hoping it connects. Okay. Make sure my door is shut. Is it going? Is it going? Oh, cool. It's thinking. Awesome. Cool. I can finally see it. So that's how long the lag is. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm still setting up. I thought I'd be a little faster making dinner, and I wasn't. And also my ceiling fan started acting up really weird. Probably a battery thing, but I like to think it was a ghost. So, that's fun. Welcome to the live stream. Again, have almost the same thing as last time, except now it's got a part 2, and we've got more artwork underneath that you saw yesterday, or if you weren't here yesterday. This is what we did. Just tie downs, and today I'm gonna kind of go through inking really fast. Not really fast, but I just know, like, there's so many crowd scenes. I was working on a, like, one panel for page 4 that had many people in it, and I know it's gonna take me a while to ink that one, but this one should be a little bit easier, and I'm just gonna try and go through it. I'm making sure that, okay, cool, no other pages are open up here at the top. Just to remind everybody, because it is locked on Photoshop, I have to kind of scroll out to read comments, so if you see the screen getting smaller, that's me checking the chat, looking at, like, the other page, because I do not have 2 screens. So if you ask questions and I don't answer, that's not me ignoring you, that's me just not being able to see it at the time. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm also going to start putting these on transparency so I can trace over them. I have my colors picked, at least the line art, and I have the background layer and the character layer different, so I'm going to turn both of those down, and I'm just going to start with the characters. I did some very minor things on, like, the mom's face, mostly, like, shortening her face up, so that doesn't really look that different from what it was yesterday, but I did double check it to make sure she kind of looked similar between the pages. I'm making a line layer. And I'm gonna just start. I'm using the same brush that I used to draw these in the tie downs, so that I can kind of, because it gets very thick and it can also be very thin, so I like to sketch in that one too, in the same brush, so that I can kind of make sure that I can get all the detail in when you have small drawings like this. She is very tiny right now, so I'm trying to draw very light so I get nice thin lines. And then I'm just gonna draw her hair crazy. And this is also the one where her bat is in, like, a weird position, so I have to kind of make that look natural and make it look like it's actually sitting in the backpack. Yes. So I will, I mean, I know more people are coming in to the chat, so I will talk to people. Sorry, I also just ate, so if I hiccup or, you know, whatever. It was just dinner time. And I could have been faster with it, but I was playing Pokemon as a break. So I didn't make dinner earlier than I probably should have. That's okay. I caught a lot of Pokemon. My Pikachu gave me a high five. It was great. So yeah. And this side is the Spiky Bats. Kawachan's is in the other side. She's carrying both of them in this one. And I don't know if people weren't here last time. This is page 2 of book 4. Usually I ink page 1 as, like, a ceremonial, like, kickoff for the chapter, or the book, I mean. Chapters are, like, broken up bits of the book. But there's really not... Hello, Car. There wasn't a lot of the main characters in page 1, so we are inking page 2 instead. Probably won't be the thing unless, you know, other books do that. But I always do these inking things to kind of kick off these books. Hey, Car. I just think it's kind of fun way to, like, actually be able to sit and ramble and chit-chat with people who are very nice at reading my stuff. So thank you guys for enjoying it. Trying to get these out, as you know, or some of you probably know, I'm kind of busy at the moment, and I will be busy this year quite a bit, so I'm trying to figure out good scheduling for kind of posting these. But I'm doing things like adding scenes with crowds, which does not help me. It does slow me quite down. I mean, there's a lot of things that came, like, I tried very hard to kind of think of shortcuts for this story. It has 2 characters, mostly, and those, like, 2 characters is so much easier to draw than having a cast of like 4,000 characters. Like a normal anime with 10,000 characters, like a shonen, always has like a cast of thousands, and it takes a long time to draw, and it's a lot of conversation. So having one character that doesn't talk is also good because you have less dialogue to write. And I'm kind of in a spot in this book where we're going to start meeting more people and branching out a little bit, and I'll check the chat in just a sec. Usually I also fill in the hair afterwards because it can just take a while, but her hair's small, so it's very easy. But I'll probably leave a lot of the people's hairs blank, and then I'll fill them all in later because that's kind of an easier way to do it. I'll just draw a little more of her, and then I'll go to the chat because I know some people are still coming in. It's still pretty early. I just sort of jumped into it because I'm anticipating this taking a lot of drawing power. Ooh, that's too thick. So, yeah, these very little drawings are hard, so I'm trying to be very, very careful and not like splotch the lines too much. But this angry mom, and I've also talked about it yesterday, but I'm just gonna repeat a lot of stuff because I assume there are people here who weren't here yesterday. I always open up with a, flashback at the beginning and end of the books that kind of tie into the theme a little bit of the story. So this is a flashback. Hopefully now we'll be able to tell flashbacks because Yuna will be in her old outfit. I'm just assuming some people are still going to be confused, but because I don't usually type like a day later or something like that. I feel like those little like 5 years ago speech bubbles or boxes can be kind of distracting. So I really rarely use them. So the timeline might be a little more confusing, but I feel like I don't know, it's cool to think about it, I guess, to look at clues to understand like when things happened. Makes it more fun. You can theorize and stuff like that. I'm gonna check the checks. It's been a while. Cool. I'm going up like all the way to the top because I haven't read a lot of these. Yes, howdy, howdy. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream and welcoming each other. You guys are very nice to each other. Virtual cookies. Oh, I have cookies in there. No one is, don't be sorry if you're late. No, don't be sorry you're late. I just jumped into it. Sometimes I take a little longer to jump into it, but there's, like, obviously you can see there's a crowd behind them, so I just want to get through it. If you have to study, you can turn on, like, mute it and just watch if you want, like, as background noise. Yeah, my day's been good. I've just been drawing. I was doing tie-downs for pages 4 and 5, and 4 had so many people in it. It took very long. I was hoping to get inking started on those, but it just too much happening. But it was kind of necessary for like the composition, I guess. It needed that. Blobs don't exist. A's don't exist. What are you talking about? Yep, me too. I never know what people are talking about. Oh man, Flaming Hot Cheetos are great. I can just scarf those down. Hurts my stomach, sure, but I love them. 2 hours of sleep last night, or that night. Oh no. Please, if you're in a different time zone, this is like a weird hour. You do not have to watch these. The streams, again, they do archive on YouTube. So, cool. Thank you for reading the webtoon last night. That's awesome. It's cool. I think right now it got on, I think on the app it's under, like, Spotlight right now, so I think there might be some new people who have seen it on, like, the front page of the app, which is very crazy. Thank you, webtoons. Aw, puppies. Dang, I wish I had a puppy. Can you handle spicy food? I can, but my stomach doesn't always handle it. I like the flavor, and I will eat spicy food, especially my college roommates and I, we would always make, like, spicy chicken, and we would make it pretty spicy. My friend had a very spicy salsa that I do not know the full ingredients because it is a family recipe, but it has a lot of peppers in it, and it is very spicy. It's very delicious, and I just, I do have that German tummy. I don't think it can handle the spice, but I can handle the spice, so I continue to eat spicy food even if it makes me uncomfortable. That's me. Oh my god, the kid's like staring forward now. I'm gonna try and get this drawing back in a little bit because I like this face. He's looking in the right direction. He kind of had like a blank stare. It's just so hard to get these lines in. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, no, he's got that blank stare. I think that's what it is. I think the lid lines were just off, and that was making him look funky. Yeah, what are you looking at, kid? This is the child actor who has no lines kind of thing. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't emote too much. He just looks overwhelmed, and his mom is just kind of yelling at people right now. Everyone's stressed out. It's fine. I'm also gonna quickly just add his hair in. These are very small. They're not gonna. And I do, if you've noticed, I do a very like loose inking style. This is like I picked a brush that does look very brush-y. Like it's got like it kind of looks like it's ink on paper a little bit. It's got a texture to it, and I like that. So it lets me ink a little more freeing without too much like, oh, I gotta make this look perfect. I can kind of make the lines look less perfect, and that's a part of the style, and I think it looks nice. Developed to make my life easier, but also, you know, it does look kind of nice, and it fits with the style of the story, I think. I do. I think I kind of grew up with like Batman comics where the inking lines would be very thick and black, and whenever I worked with comics, I've always liked that look, or at least that like looseness. Someday I'll probably do something that's a little more sorry, I'm just redrawing this line. Something that's a little more, I guess, precise, like a clean line. But right now, I think this matches it pretty well, having it kind of inky and blotchy. And alright, so this is all of that character stuff on that panel, so I can just move on to this one. See, like, if I have a day to just work on comic stuff, I can get like 2 pages done a day. Unless there's like a ton of detail, like the crowd scene that I'm working on right now, and the upcoming pages that I'm on right now. Because I usually tend to work on them in 2s. So if I have like about 40 pages for a comic, I could like get these done, like a book completely done within a month. It's just that I freelance, and so I kind of lose a lot of time, and right now I don't have that time. So I can only work on it at night, and you know, sometimes you need a break and not draw if you're drawing all day. So I'm gonna go hit the zoom button instead. It's always a surprise. This year will be interesting, and again, like I said, I'll make a proper announcement for when, just to kind of explain what's going on, because I know people, you know, they want to know when things are actually updating, and I don't really have a good schedule because I'm kind of still planning things out and figuring all that out. So we will see, but it should be good. Yeah, for those who weren't here yesterday, I'm going to be working on a project that's freelance, not really freelance, but it's full-time at a studio for a TV project. So the workload goes a lot longer than a commercial, which I'm used to. I'm like, commercial work can maybe be a month at the most, probably like a month on average, and then you're looking for work again. So I will be pretty much working from March until the end of October, till November. And that's definitely going to make it hard to like get those free periods in between work where I was able to like get a lot of this stuff done, because I'd work for a month and then I would have like a week or so off, or even a month off, where I'd be searching for more work, and you know, I'd be able to get so much done, and I'm not gonna have that. Oops. But that's okay. It really, I don't think it's gonna be like the worst thing in the world. It's just gonna be maybe a little slower. It's fine. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Also, sometimes when I fill like things with this style, I'll do like little white gaps, so it kind of has like it's not fully, I'll like do that. So like a fill will have like that kind of effect. I don't know. I think it just looks kind of nice. It's just to make it look more rugged, I guess. It's pink, it's cute, but it's got some, like, I don't know, goofy... I mean, it's an apocalypse story. It's got to have some roughness, I think, to kind of fit the bill. Like, this kid... just overwhelmed. I'll check the chat in a little bit. Let me finish this panel, and I'll just go check out what everyone's talking about. Ooh. There we go. It's a lot of redrawing, undo, undo, undo. And she's got like a dotted line in her shirt. So yeah. This is them kind of before the people started to disappear. Because they, you know, there's clearly not a lot of people around. So this is kind of when the city was more populated and there were more evacuations going on. And this is them kind of in a crowd waiting to see if they can be taken out of the city. So people are very upset and tensions are high. This lady is just very frustrated. And she's got a kid. Oops. There we go. It's also nice too because under chins there's like a shadow. So if I mess up the line, I can kind of flub it. There we go. And shape it out. Chisel that chin. There's a thumb, I guess. It's kind of a wide thumb, but whatever. It's not the worst. It's kind of an odd hand. Well, that's not so bad. Okay, and he's got a nice puffy Pokemon trainer jacket. So he's looking fly. Mom has her hand on his shoulder. There we go. Puffy collar. And he does have like a turtleneck on underneath. So, give him that. Coming together. Zipper. Boop. And then the shoulder line for Mom. Just to finish that off. I think that's all that one. Cool. So I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to leave her hair for now. We'll just check the chat. And I'll jump on to the next one very soon. Okay. Scorch some eggs, scrambling for ramen. Oh no! I love putting eggs in ramen. You can also poach an egg. Just like drop a whole like raw egg when it's like boiling. Put a cover on it for about a minute and then turn the heat off and keep the cover on for like a minute. And it'll cook the egg in the like broth. You'll have like a yolk that you can break open. That's a very easy way, I think, to throw an egg in your ramen. Because, you know, I can make spaghetti meatballs. Absolutely, spaghetti meatballs are great. Zucchini is the best. I made asparagus, but usually I buy zucchini for, you know, my vegetable because I love a garlicky zucchini. Virtual cookies are good. Ooh, tacos are good. You guys are talking about food. I did just eat, so I'm doing pretty good, but you're gonna make everyone else hungry because I'm now reading everything. Ooh. Get tortilla, put meat in it. Absolutely. But other things too. You can do other things. Quesadilla burgers are great. That sounds pretty good. Man, I want to quesadilla burger sounds good. Alright, I'm going back. I'm glad you guys are hungry. I hope you guys are eating if it's your dinner time, or I don't know. Again, I'm going off of like Eastern Standard Time. So to me it's like 7 o'clock at night. I know we had some people from Australia yesterday, so y'all might be in different zones that I'm, you know, thinking of. So again, if it's like crazy late, don't feel obligated to stick around. You know, sleep is good. It's also a Sunday. That's why I'm trying to get through this because I don't want to like worry too much about, you know, sleep. I got work tomorrow. I mean, I work from home tomorrow, so I don't have to go anywhere. But I still need to get my day going, you know? You know? It is nice. Usually if I work from home, I try and go for a walk, but it's going to be 12 degrees tomorrow morning, so I'm not going outside. That's fine. I'm staying firmly where I am. And then her kind of sassy smile that I kind of had trouble drawing. There we go. I like that. I think that's good. Mouths are sometimes hard because you just have to get the right emotion. And I'm kind of trimming her head down a little bit. I think her hair was just a little too big. It's probably what I was confused about. I'm going to turn the layer off. Yeah, I like that a lot better than the sketch. I knew I'd fix it in the line art. Or, yeah, the inking. So, since this is the past, her clothes aren't super ripped up. She just kind of has this bite out of her collar. I think in one of book 3's with her coat off, you could see like one of her sleeves is ripped. So she's not as disheveled as she looks because this is the past. And she does not have her face bruise under her cheek over here, or her cut over here, or her forehead one over there. I mean, we got continuity in this story. People get hurt, they stay hurt. That's the I'm trying to think of like a fun tagline. That's what we do here in this establishment. Okay. Also, if you ever have trouble drawing a straight line, hold down Shift and just hit the ends. It will automatically start building up the line. So that's a fun cheat, Photoshop cheat. Shift. I hope they never get rid of that. That's a very, I use that a lot. I don't know if that's supposed to be kind of a mistake, but because you could draw straight lines holding down Shift and just doing that, but you can only get horizontal or vertical. So if you're trying to do like a specific diag, just kind of hold down Shift and then just touch the 2 points. You get all sorts of fun stuff. Because drawing straight lines is hard. Oh yeah, okay, so I don't need to worry about everything over there, because that's off screen. I'm going to get rid of all of those, but I am drawing up a little bit, so like after everything is done, I will just kind of select everything outside of the line and just delete it, so we can draw out here if we want. Back to here. See, Yuna just takes, for me, I don't take very long to draw Yuna. I draw her so much, I think, that I'm just used to her. So anything with her in it is like, oh, easy peasy. And I just feel like she doesn't look as shocked. Maybe she needs more like, I like that. I think that's a good slope. I don't want it to look too up and down. It's gotta still look like it fits on her face, you know? The anatomy has to sort of make sense, even though she's, like, very oddly shaped. She's got a very short torso, to make her look kind of short and stubby. Ooh. Oh, come on. Make this hair look... Okay. A little better. And also sometimes her hair gets longer and shorter, depending on just the drawing. I'm bad with that sometimes. Normally she looks pretty consistent, but sometimes her hair grows and then it gets short. And just minor things that I notice and I'm like, oh, could do better. Hey, it's a free comic. I do what I can. Oops. And perfect. Done. Yeah. And a lot of this is just going to get shaded in anyway, so some of that detail is going to be not as pretty, so we don't need to worry too much about the hair. And fix her collar. The collar's not supposed to be tucked in, it's the goofy one, goofy side. And yeah, and this is also her before she has her coat, so she's not wearing it. Oop. And I'll finish this one and I'll go check the chat. I'm gonna do a straight line thing to kind of help me get that a little more figured out. There we go. It's also probably a lot shorter. I think Kawachan's bat also changes size pretty often, just kind of by accident. Okay, so this is this side. I just don't want to mix up which bat is on which side. That's just something I know would happen if I'm not paying attention. So I gotta make a mental note. And let's add the woman in here. Just quickly, like her nose doesn't quite look like that. And yeah, so I'm not completely like 100% tracing. Some of this is like, if I can make it look a little better, I'll work off of what we drew. But a lot of the times it's just like a straight, cleaner trace of what we worked on before. So that is pretty good. But there's always things that, you know, if you go at a second pass, you fix. So that's nice. That's why we do the tie down stage. Also, if we hear hissing, and hopefully we don't, but I have my radiator on. I don't think it's really pumping out heat right now, but it is fogging up my window quite a bit. So it looks like I have a bathroom window right in front of my desk. You cannot see out of that thing. Just some dots of light from other apartments out there. And I'm going to kind of give her one of those. I don't know. Sometimes I don't draw nostrils on these characters, but there's definitely some times when I have, so it just depends on the mood I'm in. Okay, so I'm gonna just call that good. Make sure that doesn't go into the next one. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so kind of almost halfway done with like character stuff. I'll check the chat. Going back up. Tortilla burger. Okay, back where I thought I was. It's 4:20. Good. Everyone's just sharing their time. 3-day weekend. Oh, I don't get a 3-day weekend because I'm working for a Canadian studio, so I don't get Martin Luther King Day off. Because that's a pretty American thing. So I'm going off of Canadian holidays. And we gotta get stuff done, so we're not, you know, we gotta work tomorrow. Yeah, most people have Monday off, students and like some friends that I know who work in studios, but again, I'm working with a studio in Ottawa, Canada, so I'm remotely kind of working over the internet with them. Oh my goodness. Are you making a plush head? That's crazy. This chat doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah. Worth the bob here, looking the ruler of chat. What's my fave anime? I'm very bad at picking favorites of things, but I do have a favorite anime, and that's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Nothing has ever knocked that out of my absolute favorite. I can watch it many times. I still love it. I got some friends to watch it for the first time. Like a couple of friends of mine watched it for the first time. My roommate, my sister, and another friend of mine that I grew up with who lives out here. And it was very fun experiencing that with everyone and hearing their, I guess, take on it, because I love that show so much. Sorry, I'm reading. You guys can... You're never too old to enjoy something. Absolutely. I bought Pokemon. I've been into Pokemon since I was like 7 years old, and that's almost 20 years now, and all you are is just an adult who could buy the games now. So Pokemon never ends. You can always enjoy something even if you're getting older. Fullmetal Alchemist is very good. I mean, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood specifically. I watched the very first Fullmetal when I was in high school, and I loved it. And Brotherhood wasn't out yet, and the manga wasn't done. And I loved the first anime, and I started watching the movie, and I hated it so much. It was such a bad ending and a bad story, and I was so mad at how they treated all the characters that I found the manga, which was still ongoing, but I knew websites that would post it every month, because it wasn't a weekly chapter, it was a monthly chapter. So every beginning of some certain day of the month, maybe like the 10th, I would flock to that website, I'd read it, and that's how I experienced, like, the better story, and I was like, this is so good, this is so well written, it was so sad when it ended, but it was very good. A lot of shonen anime just kind of never ends, so I like that it had a good, conclusion, because you really can't keep things going on for 10 years. I know Naruto and One Piece and all that did that, but nobody cares after a certain point. Bleach got old. And this is definitely, like, you can tell, yeah, there's also a fire truck going by. Bleach and all that obviously dates me of when I was more into anime, because I don't watch it as much now, but I still like it. I just don't really watch it on the regular anymore. And those were shows I liked, except maybe not One Piece, and they just never ended, and so people would just get tired and bored of them, and things need an ending. Fullmetal Alchemist had an ending, and I thought it was very well written. I was excited when Brotherhood came out, because the manga is very good, and it deserved its own anime, and I think it far exceeds the original anime, but the original anime has its good moments too. But Brotherhood is the best. So good. And I love the Ulrich brothers, and that is my favorite anime. Nothing has topped Fullmetal Alchemist. Brotherhood, specifically. But I do also like Ouran High School Host Club, and I enjoyed Death Note. I haven't watched it through in many years, but I like that one. And what else? Pop Team Epic. I watched that one a couple of years ago. Or no, wait, that just came out last year. Never mind. Like a year ago that came out. Pop Team Epic was pretty funny. And I like a lot of magical girl shows, so... I mean, I think a lot of magical shows aren't great, honestly. They're not the best written things, but they're awesome. I mean, I love magical girls. I hadn't watched a lot of shows, so I kind of went in a deep dive about a year or two ago and rewatched all of Sailor Moon, because I had only seen up to like season 2, because I watched the original dub when it aired on TV, like on Kids WB or whatever channel it was on, and then it switched networks, and then they didn't dub like the last season or something, so I only saw up until about season 2, and I love Sailor Moon. That one was very fun. Saint Tail was really good. I don't think people really talk about that one a lot, but that one's kind of she's a thief, which is cool. So there's like, it's a thief who does magic tricks and a kid cop, which is hilarious, but he works with, it's just like middle school kids, and he's working with police detectives, and they're actually bringing this like 12-year-old on to talk about like crime scenes. It makes no sense, but it works. It's just so camp and funny, and I love it. That one was fun. Princess Tutu is very good. I had not seen that in a while. Like, I don't think I'd ever seen it. I just saw like clips of it back when I used to make AMVs, because I used to make AMVs. Another dark past. They don't exist on YouTube. I was deleted within the purge by the time I was about 14 years old, so my AMVs are not online anymore, but I definitely used to be an AMV kid. And I met people in the real world who had seen them, so I was at least recognized on one occasion. I made a lot of Naruto music videos, but I also made like some Avatar Last Airbender and Teen Titans. And AMVs aren't really a thing anymore, which is interesting. I kind of thought that would be a trend forever, but it's sort of died out. It's definitely still out there. Oh, you know what else is a fun anime? Free, the swimming anime. I like that one. And I hear it had a new season, and I hadn't heard of it, so I think there's like a full season I haven't seen yet. But that one was very funny. It's because sports anime are goofy enough. Oh, of course, Yuri on Ice. I don't know why I'm forgetting Yuri on Ice. That's a very good show, and I need to fix her hair shape. It's not working. And yeah. And that's like a good winter anime too, because it's figure skating. So I don't know why. I should rewatch it. I keep saying I'm going to rewatch Yuri on Ice, and I haven't. But it's sweet. It's got ice skating. he lived in Michigan. It's the first time Detroit has ever been, like, talked about in an anime that I've seen, so I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And I mean, I was going to school, I think, when that show came out, so we were very excited when they were talking about him. Basically, I think they, without saying what school it is, they say that Yuri is like a Wayne State student, and that was a school that was very close to my school. Like, we shared campus police. That was the only thing that made sense, was that he would be a Wayne State student. So, that's very awesome. People don't talk about Michigan in, you know, other things, other media, so it's cool when you get any shout out of any kind. Okay. Yeah, I think we're fixed her. I think her head looks a little small for the body, but I'm not gonna really bother with it. I think it's fine. Like, it works. I just think usually I draw her with a larger head to kind of do that, like, cutesy style. Also, her backpack's probably a little too high on her shoulders, because, I mean, the weight of the backpack would probably bring it down. So maybe I don't need to draw this much of it. I feel like it's just kind of a visual to remind you that it's there, but yeah, no, backpacks, especially if it has things in it, you're not going to see that much stuff. From, like, the shoulder, over the shoulder, I mean. That'll be, I guess, one of the bats. And then we have the bottom ones. I'll check the chat, but these ones are going to be easy because Kawachan's, like, the same in both. I'm going to go, oops, I'm in the wrong window. Cool, I'm going back, because I started talking about anime, so I'm sure it's a lot of anime stuff. Alright. I hate that I got excited when you said 420. Someone said 420 was their, like, the time that they were in, and it made me laugh, so I'm glad it made you laugh. Oh. Yeah, I like that one too. Yeah, oh my god. It is very good. I have not seen Fooly Cooly, and everyone tells me I should, and I don't know why I haven't seen it yet, because it has, like, new series that have come out, like, within the past year, so I'm definitely gonna have to watch it. I know it was, like, a style influence to Avatar, Last Airbender, which I obviously liked when I was younger, so I've been aware of this anime since, like, probably late middle school, high school, but I've just never watched it all, and it's a short anime, too, so it's just, I just need to sit down and watch it. But Fooly Cooly, or FLCL, is supposedly very awesome, and I've had friends rave about it, so, never seen Trigun. There's always fire trucks in the background. My street is pretty quiet, but I do live about a block away from a busy street, so they do come through here. Occasionally you will hear that. Oh, I've never seen Big O, but I've had friends talk about it, like, they remembered it, but they couldn't remember what it was about, so we would, like, Google it. Orin High School Host Club is really good. Pop Team is very funny. GTO. What's GTO? Oh, I never watched Dragon Ball Z. I tried to watch it when I was younger, and I got bored because it was kind of a filler arc, and I never went back. Space Dandy, I've heard, is very good. I like the art from Space Dandy. Yeah, Pokemon. Pokemon and Sailor Moon were definitely my first anime. Princess Tutu's very good. I also like the English dub of Speed Racer, which obviously isn't called Speed Racer in the Japanese version, but I still very much love that one. Space Dandy. It's good. You guys are... You used to make AMVs. Yep. Yep. Oh no, you're not too late. They are still a thing, and people are way better at editing. We all had Windows Movie Maker back then, and that's all I had, so I would just try to just do very good edits, because the effects were not good in that one, so just jump cuts and things. I think, honestly, making AMVs did help, because I'm a lot better at, I guess, timing things, like, especially for animation or timing out an animatic for work. Like, I'm very good at timing to music, and when you are very good at that, it's funny to tell people, yes, I'm good at that, because I used to make AMVs. Yuri on Ice apparently is getting a movie soon, and I think a next season after that, but there's a poster for it, so the movie's coming out. This is not just me being goofy and, you know, my kid is super into Teen Titans Go. Yeah, I can imagine. I am obviously not of the age gap that would get into Teen Titans Go, but I understand it's for kids, And I obviously was around for the first series. I watched it from season 1 of Teen Titans, so I was very into Teen Titans. I've always been more of a DC comic person. I've been just kind of sick of superheroes in general, so I don't know if I'm super into DC right now in general, but yeah, I tend to go for DC more than Marvel, although the new Spider-Man movie was probably the greatest thing I've ever seen. Let me see. Sorry, I'm going back up. Flapjack was very good. I've never seen Uncle Grandpa. Yeah, Flapjack was pretty fun. I mean, a lot of people who worked on Flapjack now work on other shows, so you get a lot of things from there that have kind of bled into other projects. Yeah, I've heard very good things about Teen Titans Go. I don't know if I know anyone who works specifically on it, but I know people who work over at Cartoon Network, and they're very excited about it when they talk about it. Like, I don't think they work on it, but they, people really seem to like Teen Titans Go, which is very cool. It seems like it's got a good crew on it. I mean, if these kind of cartoons are not like your cup of tea, I mean, they're not made for you. That's kind of just the thing of most cartoons. Some cartoons are just dumb, but there's a lot of really cool stuff, especially cool art coming out of like American cartoons. I don't know if everyone's seen the new Carmen Sandiego. I think it was just the opener came out. Netflix posted it on YouTube, and it looks so beautiful. The like art design is very, very, very cool. Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, I never watched Ren and Stimpy because I think my parents didn't let me. My parents were not into me watching like Ren and Stimpy and Cow and Chicken, and probably Rocko's Modern Life. But I feel like I might have watched a little bit more of Rocko's. I also wasn't allowed to watch Courage for a while, but that's because I was a very scared kid. I watched Courage later in life because that had more like reruns than some of the older shows. But I remember Cow and Chicken being on. I think my parents just didn't like it. They just didn't really want to watch it, so that was not on in my house. But I was also pretty young when that one came out. But there's a very distinct style of those like 90s cartoons. It's very cool. Very colorful. Obviously, there's a reason people love old 90s cartoons. But the stuff that's out today, I like the designs of things. I know people get really annoyed about the Cal Arts thing. I have no problem with that. I think it's just the style of the time, and things evolve. Obviously, like Pendleton Ward and... Sorry, I'm really fixing this chin. Flapjack especially, but Adventure Time, I almost said Adventure Zone, but that's the podcast. Adventure Time kind of sparked a lot because it was very popular, and now a lot of people follow that style. One, because it's very animation friendly. That's the other thing, is people hate on like new styles, and like if you've never worked in animation, you don't understand like how like a simple, precise design is very important. It helps save a lot of time, makes things look nice, and obviously kids respond really well to that sort of look, so it makes sense to go for it. And I know a lot of people were very annoyed about like She-Ra. I loved She-Ra. I think there was some times where it was a little too like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think there's like a full episode towards the end where it feels like it's almost exactly like a season 2 episode of Avatar: Last Airbender, and I don't know. I really what I want, and it's not like a huge thing. They don't need to do this, but I love He-Man. I wish they would put He-Man in like the storyline somehow, because I love Prince Adam, and I love He-Man. He-Man's funny. And everyone, like, acts like, oh, man, He-Man's so tough, and She-Ra is supposed to be beautiful, and He-Man's supposed to be, like, super buff and awesome. Like, He-Man was a preschool show, pretty much, where they would talk about the moral of the story and, like, sharing with your friend at the end. And people act like it's this deep, like, barbarian thing, and, like, if you watch He-Man, he's cooking for his cat. Like, he bakes for his cat. It's so sweet. He's such a sensitive dude, and everyone's like, oh, he's so tough. He's like the buffest dude. And he's like going on picnics with his pet cat. Cringer. And he wears pink. Like, come on. He's just a nice, sensitive dude. He's like super fun. I love Prince Adam. And also, this is very ominous having Kawachan standing behind you. Let's see. Yeah, She-Ra was pretty fun. I know a lot of people have been kind of harping on the style of that. I think it looks really awesome. And bam, that's what I gotta say about She-Ra. I liked She-Ra a lot. I thought it was a fun show. I hope they get a season 2. Maybe they already have like announced that they have been picked up for a season 2, but I don't remember either way. So I'm going to actually copy and paste this drawing of Kawachan over into the next one because it's just kind of a still, so I don't have to redraw this one. The weird pocket. Cool. I'm also just going to finish this up because this will actually be shown in the next one. But I'm going to white this out. Ooh, excuse me. His head looks really, like, big. Maybe it's just because it's on the side. I'm going to round this out a little bit down here. And yeah, I like the look of it. We're almost done with line art for the characters, which is good. Backgrounds is not going to be this big because I think only there's really backgrounds in the first panel. Is that right? Yes. There's only backgrounds in the first panel, so it's a lot easier. I'm copying. I'm going to paste another one. Bring it over here. It's on, like, when you paste, it makes like a separate layer. Oh, wait, I'm gonna kind of line it up, and then I'm gonna hit space so it does like a, just drags it straight over. Perfect. So ominous. It looks spooky. I think that's kind of the point, though. Kawachan, I mean, is kind of made to be a little ooky feeling. The eyes are like offsets, and obviously you don't see a face. So it kind of makes you feel a little anxious when you see Kawachan. That's by design. I've thought of these things. I'm also going to turn Kawachan off. Because right now Kawachan's on a different layer. I'm going to just delete everything that merges over with her. But that way I can see her a little better. Finish off her ear. I like doing the faces first. I'll check the chat in a little bit too. But we're doing pretty good with this. And I also took a long time to talk in the last one where I wasn't really working on stuff. And I was just talking about anime and cartoons. But I mean, hey, I like that stuff. And obviously I work in animation, so I get very excited about animated stuff. It's a thing that's important to me. And I like when other studios and other people do, you know, very cool projects. And there's cool projects coming out all the time. Like I said, Carmen Sandiego looks super interesting. Maybe it's just, I mean, it's obviously a kid's show, but just, I think I might watch it just for the style alone. And I used to like Carmen Sandiego as a kid, so I'll probably get some enjoyment off that. Netflix and animation has been very interesting. Kind of hoping they have a lot of good stuff in the future, because it sounds like they are hiring a lot of people to do a lot of cool independent films, and I'm here for it. And we'll finish that. Her fun. She's got a very nice trench coat. Very fashionable lady. Oop, yeah. Finish the design on her shirt and draw her shoulder and kind of the seam of her shoulder. She's got like 3 lines across it, and then we have just one more panel of characters, and then we're gonna go back and I'm gonna pop Kawachan up a little bit and oop, whoa, I'm gonna erase the parts that overlap. I'm gonna turn her down. And that shouldn't be too hard to just fill in like the hairlines of everyone. There we go. Trim a little more of the ear, delete. Okay, and turn that back up. And in theory, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. One more to go, and then I'll check the chat again. And this is Kawachan. Ooh, my screen did something weird. I'm gonna check the chat because that made me nervous. My screen flickered a little bit. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, now I'm in the chat, so I'm gonna just double check it. Yeah, a lot of DC Easter eggs. I've heard, and I like, oh, Jason's Ashes. Yeah, I'm definitely a Batman person. I like all the sidekicks and all the different Robins and the different Batgirls and Oracle. And I mean, Oracle's not a thing anymore because they reboot the comics all the frickin' time, so I don't know what's happening in the comics anymore. He used to have a son, then the son died, then they rebooted everything, and it's all confusing. But it's very good. Still, saw the Minions movie and didn't like it. I'm not a Minions person. The Facebook memes are not good. I think they're kind of annoying. I like the Despicable movie, but I think once the Minions started to become a big thing, it takes away from, I think, the story a little bit. Because in Despicable Me 2, there's a whole scene where they're on a beach singing and dancing. It has nothing to do with anything. They could have cut that shot out, but all it is in there for the audience to laugh at. And I don't know, it's not that funny to me. Oh yeah, I did see Devilman, and I liked it. I think I just enjoyed the theme song way more than anything. And about a year ago, I was working on a project where I was very stressed out. I was under a very difficult timeline and deadline, and not enough people working on this project to help. And I think one day I listened to the Devilman theme song about 3 or 4 hours straight, just went back and repeated it, and people were like, yeah, I was looking on your computer screen, you were just you were just rewinding that song and just listening to it for quite a while. So I do like the theme song. I think it was good for a stress moment to just do that. The episode of Courage where the slab, I think. I don't remember exactly what the ghost man is, but it's a spooky looking, oddly animated. He looks like he's paper cut out, and he's like a ghost. It's Return the Slab. That's what he wants. There's a wooden slab that they have, and he keeps knocking on their door. I do like old She-Ra a lot, and I love old He-Man, and I love Gem and the Holograms. Hey, what's going on? Yep. At least Lauren remembers He-Man. I absolutely remember He-Man. I've definitely seen more of He-Man than I have of original She-Ra, but I love He-Man. I hope He-Man becomes a 2019 icon. He's so good. He's so funny and sweet. And every character is so annoying. The voice acting on She-Ra and He-Man is nails on a chalkboard, but it's funny. And I do like the What's Going On Four Non-Blondes version. It's very good. Steven Universe, I am not caught up on with Steven Universe, but I will someday. I'm so behind. It's very good, but also it's hard to find the episodes right now, so I'll have to find somewhere to watch it. Snakes on a Plane. Goblin Slayer. I think I've heard of Goblin Slayer. I think I've heard of Zombieland Saga. I feel, isn't there because Idol anime is very big. Isn't there an Idol anime where they're all zombie girls or something like that? Oh, is the Blood Moon tonight? Is it tonight? I don't know. It's my window's so fogged up. I don't think I'd be able to see it. I am the Pink Knight. Batman Kawachan. I do love Batman. I know people are very bad about writing Batman because everyone who makes a Batman movie has to do the whole origin story, and everyone jokes about oh, his parents died. But Batman's so much cooler than just that. He's the coolest dad, and everyone's just he's dark and brooding. He adopts every kid he can see. He's awesome. And I don't know if anyone's ever seen Young Justice, but whenever people are oh, Batman's the worst, season 1 of Young Justice, and I know it's just an animated version of the show, but to me this is actually Bruce. There's the whole storyline where they find Superboy in episode 1 and 2, and Superman does not want anything to do with Superboy because Superboy's a clone that Lex Luthor made. I'm sorry I'm going into DC Comics, guys, but Lex Luthor made this clone, and Superman's kind of very put off by it and won't talk to this kid who's very frustrated and just wants some guidance. And Bruce Wayne's very mad at Superman for not being supportive of this kid, and there's a whole scene where like Bruce Wayne is home with Dick Grayson, and they train, as in like he challenges Dick Grayson to a basketball game, and I love that. Bruce Wayne can be so good, and they write him so poorly because they're just like, he's dark, he's brooding, and his parents died. He went to the movies or opera or some sort of theater with his mom and dad, and then they were killed in an alley, and there were pearls all over the place. Like, it's always that, and you know, it just gets so old. They could do so much better. Bruce Wayne deserves better. And also, I was rewatching some clips from the 60s film, which is just a fun experience. That's the one that has, like, the bomb scene where he's running around with a bomb. And actually, there's a lot of very memorable scenes in that movie, like the shark repellent. It's worth a watch. Horrible film. Very funny. I love Adam West a lot. He's very funny. He had a very distinct voice. And I think he passed away, what, 2 years ago? 2 summers ago? I think they made an animated film, like, a year before he died, where it's voiced by Adam West. It's animated, and it's like the 60s Batman style, and I haven't seen it, but that just sounds so good. I want to see that movie. It was like a direct-to-DVD thing, so, but it happened. I remember seeing stuff for it. I'm so sick of superheroes. There's too many movies. Sorry, Marvel. Marvel overdid it. I don't have anything against Marvel, but like, it makes a lot of money, so Disney makes a lot of movies, and then I'm sick of hearing about every single film. I just don't care anymore. And that's really sad, because as you can tell, I'm a kind of a superhero person, or I used to be. I used to be way more into superhero stuff, and I've lost the taste of it a little bit. I can't handle it. I worked on an Aquaman thing recently, though, an advertisement for it. It was on Adult Swim. You can probably find it. I think I found it. Someone posted it. Yeah, it's on my website, but I think if you look up Adult Swim Aquaman therapy or something, because if you look up Adult Swim Aquaman, you're gonna get all of the what is the Robot Chicken stuff, because they make a lot of Aquaman things. But this was animated, and it was kind of in the style of Brave and the Bold. It was just kind of a very quick project where they're in couples therapy, him and Jason Momoa. And Jason actually did the voicing for it. I obviously didn't get to meet Jason, but they sent over like Jason's actual recording, so that was very cool. So it felt like I was working with Jason Momoa. Even though I never got to see him. We kept making jokes in the office that he should come in and see like the progress, but you know, he's a very busy dude. Everyone likes him. And I haven't seen Aquaman, but I heard it was fun. And that's all I want, is like fun superhero stuff. My dream, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I want a 60s Batman movie that is like a serious story, but all the costumes are like stupid looking and like nobody can hack computers because it's the 60s, so they're just like kind of James Bonding it. Like, I just want that, like Bruce Wayne drinking martinis and everyone just is very 60s, and I think that would be like the coolest movie. It'll probably never happen because they're just gonna want to make gritty Batman for the rest of their life. I'll never get my way unless I physically make them do it. I mean, I'm not gonna run the ladder just to write a Batman movie. I'm working in animation. I don't really want to work in writing a Batman film. Who knows? You never know where life takes you. I sincerely doubt it, though. 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, one more, and then we got Yuna. But I'll write that movie. I'll do it. No, it's all good. Maybe less superhero movies are good, but they should definitely make a Batman Beyond movie. I will check the chat also pretty soon. I've just been talking about how Batman frustrates me. Actually, not Batman, just everyone in general. Disney's Marvel section makes me frustrated. Too many stuff. Sony killed it with the Spider-Man movie, though. I could take 10 more movies in that style. I loved it. I thought Miles was so sweet. The style was so good. The writing was so good. I loved that movie. It was like my favorite animated movie I think I've seen. Favorite movie in general that I've seen in quite a while. I haven't really been into new stuff in a while. It's just kind of been a lot of reboots, or like some of the reboots I just don't care about. Like, I love Harry Potter, but I'm not into Fantastic Beasts. Sorry, Fantastic Beasts. It's just there's nothing for me to get excited about anymore, and I'm just very happy that like Spider-Man felt good to watch. It reminded me of why I like superhero stuff. It was just really good movie. So Sony can do more. They made the Emoji Movie, but they can also make that, and that's fantastic. Sony has such a Sony animated films are some of the nicest looking like animated films. They have like the best character design. They're not always like the best written. Like they have Hotel Transylvania, which has like awesome character design, but it's not always like the story's never quite amazing with those. Even though I wish they were, I still like the Hotel Transylvania movies, but Sony definitely makes, I think, the nicest CG films. They're always very cool. They use like 2D rubbery animation in like a CG thing. They're just, I like them a lot. I hope they keep making good movies because Spider-Man was fantastic. They have a lot of really talented people at that studio. I support them, even if they made the Emoji Movie, which I have seen, because absolutely I love watching bad things like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to turn off the tie-down layer. We have everything there, so all we have to do is the background, filling in their hair, some shadows, and I have to remember to put Yuna's skirt in there. Also, I'm going back up to a little bit to check these. Ramesses. What's that? What if? Return the slab or suffer my curse. Okay, yeah, you definitely remember it more than I do because that terrified me. What is the... Oh, it is Zombieland Saga. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was the same anime. Okay, someone did mention Zombieland Saga, and that made me think of the Idol anime, because I wasn't sure if that was the name of it. But you guys are right. The Joker origin movie might be good. I clearly like movies, or superhero movies that are, like, period pieces. Like, I liked Captain America 1 a lot. Haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, which I really need to, but I've heard it's very good, and I know the next one's going to be in the 80s, so I'm probably going to love it no matter what. But yeah, the Joker one is like a 70s movie, and that could be pretty good. I do like when they don't modernize it. They kind of pick like a time when the show was or like the character was very popular, which is why I want a 60s Batman, because I feel like that's a very specific time in history for that character. It'd be really cool to like write it again. I don't know. Yeah, Zombieland Saga. That's fun. Kawachan Batman, absolutely. I know, Adam West. Oh, my Instagram is, I'll even write it down just a sec, because I'm sitting and talking. It is L Schmidt 92. That's a T. That's a T. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Oh, yeah, this is it. It goes at the beginning. Cool. That's my Instagram. I'm going back to the chat, and then I'm going to jump back into it. I thought I really loved the last movie. The latest movie, which one is it? I've never watched Robot Chicken either. Sorry, I'm jumping around a lot. Yuna and Batman. God, if only. I love Batman stuff. I do like The Dark Knight with the Heath Ledger Joker. I think people's obsession with Joker and Harley Quinn, obviously I like Harley Quinn, but I think like people they go a little too far with it. Fantastic Beasts was lame. I wish I liked Fantastic Beasts better because it's definitely a pretty film. I hear the last one was really bad. I bet Cursed Child is also better if you see it. I did not enjoy. I didn't even read through it. I read like a summary and I thought it was sounded dumb. But I've heard like people go and see it and say like it's amazing, and it's probably one that you need to actually see to enjoy. Because hearing about it, I'm not as convinced with Cursed Child. I think I just like the originals. I think we should just leave Harry Potter alone, JK. And not JK, just kidding, JK as in Rowling. Just leave it. Because we all know it's going to get rebooted within, like, the next 15 years. Because they're going to keep making money from it. They're just, you know. But it sounded like, and I'll have to look this up. I was talking about this recently with my roommate, but the last Fantastic Beasts movie did not do very well, and I know that they were planning like 5 movies for Fantastic Beasts. With, geez, I can't imagine. The first one was so boring to me. I don't understand. I just don't think Newt is like leading material. Not anything against Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne is great, but he's just kind of a boring character, and I don't really know why I have to follow his story. He's no Harry Potter. Harry Potter, I had obviously a very close connection with because I was a kid reading the books, so I've, latched onto that character, and that's why, like, I cared about the movies and I cared about Harry. But I don't care about Newt like that, so it's hard to root for a character that you're just, it doesn't make any sense to me. They just, I don't know. I think they were just hoping that everyone would love it, and I think a lot of people did love it, so, I mean, the first one at least. I don't know about the second one. Second one sounded pretty rough. Someday I'll probably see it, but I will not buy a ticket to go see that movie, which I think it's not even in theaters anymore, so someday I will put myself through it. But I am not really a fan of Fantastic Beasts, and that's fine if you like it because, again, that movie's pretty. Like, there's definitely moments where, like, oh, they're so good at making Harry Potter feel magical. Like, at least the wizarding world. Jeepers, Lauren. Can't talk today. And that's probably the same in the second movie, or Fantastic Beasts movie. I mean, they go to Hogwarts, so of course people are probably like, that's beautiful, oh my gosh, it's Hogwarts. I know Hogwarts. Hogwarts is great. Yeah, I don't know. Mark my words, they will reboot Harry Potter probably within the next, like, 20 years, because making a movie series is a cash grab, and people will want to go see it. They're gonna definitely want to market it again, so they'll probably redo it, and then Daniel Radcliffe will have a cameo or something in it, and it'll just be like a blatant way to redo it. Or I think honestly they could probably do it as a mini series with like a cast of characters and like really go into the books, do like a Hulu or Netflix mini series, and like get a cast of kids like Stranger Things age, and just like they'll be the new Stranger Things kids because everyone will love them because they'll be the new Harry Potter. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be mercilessly, made fun of because people are mean on the internet. And people don't like change. I mean, I probably wouldn't like it, but again, I wouldn't bully kids, and knowing the internet, they would bully a new cast of Harry Potter easily. So who knows? But I'm almost certain of it. I think, like, even after the movie was out, like, the last movie came out, I was like, yeah, this will be a thing. Again, they'll bring back Harry Potter. And maybe they didn't quite do that, but they did bring back Fantastic Beasts. So, like, they're trying to cook up a way to keep the franchise alive. I don't think they need to, but they'll keep doing that. Is that how I lined? Okay, yeah, that is kind of what I did for her hair. Yeah, so again, I don't fill perfectly. There's some white gaps, but that's kind of part of it. It's kind of made to look like a hand-drawn. Obviously, it is hand-drawn because, it's digital, but it's hand-drawn. But it kind of to make it look like it's ink on paper, sort of. And I'm doing, like, I don't know. But this part, I usually wait to the end because it's kind of like a nice, relaxing / boring step of it. Just filling in the hair. Sometimes when, like, Yuna's very big, it's hard to do it because she's got a lot of detail, and you have to get in with like a teeny brush, but her hair is so large. It's, you know, it's what I set myself up for. This was just something that I liked in the, like, look. So I thought, yeah, I'll color her hair in like this forever, and whoop, honk. Now I'm stuck with this method. But I do like the look of it, so it's fine. And then we always leave like a white gap between so that it kind of has like a white outline. Kind of looks like a highlight, kind of also just separates the lines a little bit, but it does have like a messy look to it. Whoop. So not everything is super precise, and there's almost never reaches the top of her. Ooh, someone is yelling outside. Wonder why. Ooh, I don't know what they're yelling about. Someone parked in the road or something? Oh well, it's the city. You never know. I don't even know if that picked up, but it seems like you guys can hear like sirens and things pretty easily, so I'm just gonna assume you probably heard it. Alright, yeah. See, it does take a little bit of time and a little bit of like, Oh, come on. Like, gotta make it look nice. Jeez. Yeah, I'm sure someone's like stopped in the road somewhere down the line. Okay. So yeah, we're getting there with these. Again, filling in is boring. Imagine if I was coloring and you guys were just watching me like filling in like color precisely, and sometimes that's fun to watch in a speed paint, but that's why people speed these things up when they post them on YouTube with like fun bouncy music. Who knows? But this way I can't ramble on about Batman if I was doing that. We wouldn't get these fun conversations. I'm gonna also check the chat in a few minutes. I'm gonna go for this one, and then I'll jump back. But yeah, my hope is, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to finish this by 9 o'clock. I like to do maybe like a 2-hour stream, and I think like we're definitely gonna get there because the backgrounds aren't too heavy in this one. You'll see what I mean when you get to chapter, whatever the next chapter comes out, this update where this page will be in, the crowd shot that I am cleaning up. You'll see why it took me a while when I put it in there, or why it will take me a while, because I'm not done with it yet. It's very busy. There's a ton of people. I don't know why I did that to myself, but I set it up for that look, and I think it makes sense with the emotion of the scene, so it kind of needs to be there, I guess. I don't know. Because I wanted them to feel small in like a crowd of people, so you have to have like a crowd of people, and that means drawing a lot of people standing in a huge crowd. So we'll get there. You'll see it when it comes out, and hopefully it won't be too long, but I want to get more pages done so the updates aren't very long in between. We'll see what happens. But the first update's easy because that's like the shortest update. It's only about 4 pages long. The rest of the updates are, because I obviously you can tell I work in like a comic book page format, so it's broken up into about 5 parts, and that's what the webtoons uploads are. So the rest of them are about 10 pages each ish, like 10 to 12, so a lot longer than what the first update is. But that's just kind of a prologue for the rest of the book, and I don't like how stripey this is, so I'm going to fill in some of those. I think I'm just trying to get like too much detail, and it's bogging it down. Like these stripes look very odd. Cool. Alright, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to check the chat real fast, but this is what we got so far. We just have to do these last couple ones. A care blob. Yeah, I'm going back up. Sorry if I have made fun of Cursed Child, or not Cursed Child, Fantastic Beasts, if you're a fan of it. I don't want to be mean if that's something that you enjoy. It's just like the Aragog movie. I never watched the Aragog movie. I didn't read those books either. I'm good at shading the hair because I've been doing, I mean, think about it. If this is book 4, and each book has about 40 pages, then I think I've hit 120 pages at this point. Because they're not exactly 40, but about 120 pages are done. So I've been doing this thing for a while with like the hair shading. So I've been getting faster at it. They should make a Dobby movie. That'd be very weird, but I mean, I wouldn't put the pit past them because Dobby is king. I mean, Dobby, I don't know if you've read the last book, but Dobby doesn't make it. Yeah, I can't spell the American one. The idea of other schools is very cool. Obviously, when I was a kid, I wanted to go to Hogwarts. I was somewhat convinced it was real, because before the movie came out, because I got into it about a year before the Sorcerer's Stone came out. I was 8 when I read the books, and like the 4th book, I think, just came out. So there were 4 books out at the time, and the 4th book was new. And the movie was coming out the next year, which was November 16th, 2001, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I remember that because I sang it to every kid I saw on the playground because I was that excited for Harry Potter. And, ooh, why it got to be black? I don't know. Black Mamba. Oh, Patronus. Because I think Black Mamba's a snake. Yeah, I was very into Harry Potter. Loved it. But there was a, news video on the TV where they were talking probably about like a castle that was the inspiration for the set, but they made it sound like this is Hogwarts, and I was like, yes, it must be. Like, Muggle cameras can't see the students. Clearly, I've read the books. Like, J.K. Rowling is probably like, it's a secret, but like, I'm writing these books for the Muggle children so that they can know about, you know, they can know about Harry Potter and his magical adventures. So, yeah, Detroit Become Human, never played it, but it sounds cool. Thank you for reading the comic. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't say goodbye while you're leaving. Bye, Worth the Blob. Bye, Blob. Oh, that's why people are saying bye, Blob. Oh my goodness, what's going on? The chat scrolling gets weird because it tries to update, so it, like, jumps a little bit. I have to do 1 minute inside. You're good! My roommate is making food. You probably didn't pick up that much. You didn't make that much noise. Well, I'm leaving now anyway. Bye. Ooh, Dobby. I'm glad everyone likes Dobby. And now my roommate has heard me go on and on about Batman. But it's not the first time, probably. This is just kind of who I am. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going back with it. How do you do hair? Oh, I mean, I don't know. Hair is, I mean, there's different textures with hair. Yuna's hair is a little more, like, flouncy, so I just kind of draw, like, this sort of, I don't know, a lot of waves. You get better at it. Sometimes I'm pretty good at drawing Yuna's hair. Like, right now, for some reason, this is very good. And sometimes I'm very bad at drawing her hair texture. But it's a lot of just like this. And then the mom here has more like kind of short but kind of wavier hair. So it's kind of like lumped a little bit. There's a little, I don't know. Hair is interesting. There's so many different types of hairstyles. Like, you can just kind of look up some references. But because her hair is a little more bouncy and a little more curly, I'm kind of using this, like, I guess crosshatch is a sort of a word for it, but it's not really crosshatch. I'm kind of like overlapping little C's and just kind of dabbing it. You can probably hear the of my pen on my poor tablet, which is probably very scratched up at this point. How long have I had this tablet? I got it, I think, senior year of college, because one of mine broke and I needed a replacement, so, I mean, we were able to buy this in Best Buy. I think you can still buy, like, some of these in Best Buy. They don't keep, I'm just gonna do this. I'm kind of scribbling in, to be honest, a lot of this hair. Usually it's not so hard when it's just Yuna, but, when you have crowds, and, of course, a lot of people have darker hair, I have to do this effect with everyone, so it's just kind of just scribbling it in. And then sometimes if there's like a highlight, just kind of a little bit, breaking it open. And I'm also using a brush that has like a nice taper, so that also helps. I can kind of use like pen pressure and the type of brush that I'm using. And I didn't talk about it in the last stream, but I feel like I do most times when I do a live stream. I'm using Kyle Webster's brushes. He has like a mega pack, and I think now if you have Adobe Creative Cloud, you automatically get his brushes. So you can't like just buy them anymore. Because you used to just be able to buy like a pack. But I'm using some older brushes that I bought before he joined Adobe. But it's in his like ink box pack. So I don't know if there's a way to find like the files of that. Someone might have that online somewhere. But obviously you have to pay to get them. But they change. That's the thing, is you can get the mega pack with the Adobe subscription, which you have to pay for. But the mega pack changes a lot, so what I'm using is not in the most recent mega pack. It's called the Amazing Cartoon Nib 3, and they don't have, I don't think, any of the Cartoon Nib ones, or they do, and they're really, I think they're like feathery and soft. Oh, he's got a line on his cheek. I gotta erase. They just like, they're too airbrushy. Like this has a very hard edge, but it's also like kind of feathered. It looks like I drew on paper and the ink bled just slightly, which is what I want. I want it to kind of look like ink, and I don't know, finish his hair up. So this brush in particular is not available, but I mean, I'm sure he has other brushes in the new mega pack. I just haven't really looked at them. Yeah, finish her hair. She just kind of has just kind of start from the bottom, start from the top, and just kind of join them. And then some kind of close some gaps, open others. I don't usually draw like highlights on people's hair like that. I think it's distracting, but because this style is so minimal, it works, and also because it kind of has like that messy, inky feel. I think it works a lot better for this style to have her have this like big shine, and everyone has like those shines, because his shine is very odd in this one. I'm gonna close it up a little bit, but it matches that style. So everyone's hair is filled in. I'm gonna quickly go over, oh yeah, we haven't done background, so let's do background first, which I'm going to pick a new color. These are all my colors. Background line is more of a hot pink, so it kind of shows up a little better, and I'm gonna put them on a different layer. I'm gonna make a background layer, and everyone's kind of facing the back, and obviously we have to fill in their hair too, but this is kind of easy. Yeah, you can see it's a very different color pink, so it kind of helps. I think when I was first trying to establish like the color for page 1 back when I was first making it, first of all I drew it in black and white, and then was like, I'll figure the pink out later, and then once I started adding the pink, everything just kind of started bleeding in. So I needed something to break it up, and I went with this hot pink, which I think is the color that I draw. Oops, that's a upcoming page. I draw in here, like it's the same pink that I do for my thumbnails. So hey, you got a sneak peek. Unfortunately, that was my mistake. Okay, so draw like her arm. This kind of can be a little less detailed. But she's got like, I don't know, a long coat, or I don't know, someone with long hair or something. And again, I do know how to draw feet. I swear I know how to draw feet. But for this design, I just always go very simple. Except for that one panel when I drew Itsumi's shoes, and I drew them very detailed. They look really nice, and I knew I was never going to draw them that nice ever again. His boots are cuffed, I guess. Pants are cuffed, I guess. Put like part of his face just to kind of break it up so there's not a lot of faces facing forward. Face. I'm saying that a lot. Everyone's kind of facing the other way, and that's not the case in the one shot that I was telling you. Shot, again, you can tell I work in animation because I'm calling it shots. Oh, also, hang on, I gotta fix her arm, because it kind of wraps behind, and I sort of just ended it here. Need to fix the shoulder. It just kind of like ghosted off. There we go. I think something like that would make more sense. And then I'm gonna and make sure I'm on the background layer, pick the pink up again, and just kind of keep drawing these. And also, other than the hair, I usually fill in like tree trunks. I'm not gonna do it because there's so many like filled in hairs. So I'm just gonna do like a couple lines on the tree. Because usually I do like whole like. We're not gonna do that because that's just gonna make it too dark. I think not dark because it's hot pink. Dark just as in there's just too much fill. And a lot of these like kind of keep the top part. I'm not gonna really be too crazy about the hair fill as much. Put an ear kind of thing, but I will kind of keep, so I can do like this sort of thing. So you can see like there's a white highlight above their heads, so it kind of differentiates head to head, as it were. There's a hair with a bun, I guess. I don't know. People aren't really dressed up. They're waiting in line, hopefully, to get on a helicopter out of here. So people aren't really fashioned up. Which, that would be like a fun thing to be able to like look up street fashion and draw that. But like people aren't really thinking about that in this scenario. So we don't have a lot of fun fashion here. It's kind of Yuna's hair right there. So yeah, but some differentiation of like hairstyles. Trying to make like different body types because I definitely don't have a lot of variety in some of my, cast of characters right now. I mean, right now we have like a giant teddy bear looking thing and a young girl, but when we add more characters, I just want to think about like different body types, so not everyone looks the same. I think that's important. It just kind of diversifies and makes things look a little more realistic, because even though this is very goofy and cutesy, there's some real... I feel like I'm trying to be a little bit realistic of things. Like, I've been searching, there was the question of, like, are they ever going to get guns or something? And, I mean, I thought about that. Is that even possible? I'm bad at drawing guns, so I wouldn't do that anyways, but, you look that up and you find, oh, they can't do this. Or I had a shot where Itsumi was first meeting Yuna and shook her hand, and I took that out because I was like, oh, I don't think handshaking is a thing as much. But instead I made it so Itsumi, and we'll go into this a little bit more, but I've kind of hinted at Itsumi grew up in the States. There's like a hint in the Q&A of that. So we'll maybe hear a little bit more about that. So that was just like a weird accident that I had to redraw before the page came out, but now I kind of have Itsumi might have grown up in the US as a possible thing. Hey, you got exclusive information from joining this stream. Good for you. Is the stream still going? I'm so scared of connection like dying. And now that I'm looking over here, I'm just gonna go back up and read. Yeah, I don't have an Xbox. I have a Switch, which is why I've been playing Pokemon. Dobby. Ooh, chocolates. I have coffee ice cream, but it's too cold, so I might make hot chocolate, honestly. Oh, root beer floats. Oh, no, that sounds good. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. Smash that subscribe button. You don't have to if you don't want to. Lauren will join the sound department. What sound department? Oh, BTS has a comic. Yeah, that one just came out. I haven't read it. What is BTS? Yeah, you are also me, Paul. I didn't know for a while, and I still don't really know the difference between, like, obviously I know they're two different bands. I mean, like, if I saw a picture of, XEO or EXO or XO or whatever they're called, or BTS, I probably wouldn't know the difference. The only difference was, I think there's a guy from XO that was in a K-drama I watched. If I saw him, I would probably be able to tell. But I don't know any of their songs. I don't really know who they are. K-pop is really cool, but I don't really listen to it, and I'm just not into. I don't know. I feel like some of the fans in the past, from what I've seen, have just been a little crazy. Obviously, that's not everybody, so please don't take it that way. But you know, I got more into watching K-dramas than I did listening to K-pop, so I just kind of have that as a difference. And now, you know, Drama Fever died, so it's very sad because I was in the middle of one. I don't watch them all the time, but sometimes I just get in a mood where I just want to watch K-dramas, and I was watching my favorite one, which is It's Okay, That's Love. Love that one. It used to be on Netflix. It's the only one that's ever made me cry, because most of the time they're just really dumb and they cause all their own problems, but that one was very sad, and I loved it a lot. And then it was on Drama Fever, and now Drama Fever died because Warner Brothers or Time Warner, or someone who owned it, just like shut it down. So where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna go to watch my K-dramas? I tell you, without, you know, paying a subscription, because, you know, I'm trying to budget a little bit. Okay, all right. So we have our crowd, and obviously anything behind this bubble is going to be not shown. So I'm just gonna draw some leaves, or like, again, we can be a little like loose with it because that's kind of the style. And we have a background, because we don't have to worry about it too much. I'm going to quickly put in some shadow. Oh no, wait, before I put in shadows, I'm going to put in, wrong thing. I'm going to put in her skirt, which the skirt is a just kind of lighter version of the line color. So it doesn't have that like hot pink look to it. But that's just to make the skirt look less crazy. And that's the only thing that I liked about changing her outfit, which I liked her schoolgirl outfit a lot. But the skirt was always just an extra step, and it's nice not having to sit there and do the plaid on there. But it looks nice. You can kind of, again, be loose with it. I usually do like thick line at the bottom. Skirt is also on its own layer, so I can erase, you know, and it won't affect anything else. But I do like 2 light, which again, it's so small, so it's hard to see. A thick, a thin, and then a thick, and then I just kind of variations of thickness going down. There we go. Perfect. There it is. And don't see her skirt there. Don't see her skirt. Oh yeah, we see it down here. Cool. Okay, so that's easy. Shadows are easy, and then we'll be done probably pretty soon. At least with everything. I mean, I might sit and chat, but like we'll be done with the work, which is very nice. So yes. Then we'll just have cleanup. And again, I'm not going to worry about speech bubbles right now, because I'm not going to turn the dialogue on just so we don't have like, I'm not spoiling. I don't really even know if they're spoilers, but I feel like if I reveal too much, this is like a small update, so you're going to find out like pretty much what it's all about. Oh yeah, this is, accidentally turned this one on. This was older possible ideas for the mom's face that I did not go with. So I'm going to go to the shadow color, and that's going to be its own layer. And also, before I start, I'm going to go to the background layer, and I'm just going to delete or erase just a little bit of this around her head, just to make sure they don't overlap too much. And that should be good. So I'm going to keep the same brush style, and make a shadow layer. And I'm going to just make it bigger, because when it gets bigger, it gets softer. Like when it's very like, I don't know, fluffy on the sides. So I'm going to use that. Again, anything. Kind of stipple the shadows under the tree a little bit. Do something like that. Kind of be a little easy with it. And then I'm going to make it a little bit smaller now, so I can get like sides. There's really, I guess the light source is more above them, so that's kind of where I'm thinking of the light source. And that, her stuff is shaded in, so we don't have to worry about her legs as much. kind of under the chin sort of thing. We're doing like very, 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 very basic shadows. There's not like any complex stuff involved. Again, keeping it kind of messy, but anything that would have like a down shadow, I'm going to put just a little bit underneath. Oops. And it can be a little messy, but I don't want it to be too like over the thing, over the lines, I mean. So we do like some shadows like from one person to another, so they don't bleed on there. Shadows like underneath their coats. And obviously we want some shadows on the ground, so I'm going to do these kind of like this. And underneath their feet. And there's no like, the shadows aren't doing this or something. I'm going to keep them pretty basic, just for my sake, to keep all the pages consistent, because I don't want to, I guess, come out and mess it up from page to page where the sun changes drastically. But I'll do like some shadows like up here, maybe. Okay, so under the chin, whoops, accidentally hit a thing, and back on my layer. Okay. Under the chin, kind of the head casts a shadow on like the chest a little bit. And I'll put a like, oops, a little too over. Put a little underneath the nose, around the ears, maybe under the brow, because that would cast a shadow. Under the kid's chin, I guess. Also maybe like the kid might fix his chin. I didn't like how that was, but he would maybe cast a shadow over here, maybe. Shadows are important. I know I gloss over them a little bit with this comic just because, you know, there's other things to worry about. And sometimes it's nice because I'll do like a dark scene. There's been a lot of night scenes in the past couple chapters, so the whole thing will be pink, and then I'll just like remove some white spots where like small highlights would be, or some stuff like that. And kind of give the hand a shadow a little bit. Oh yeah, his head. Maybe like a little underneath there, a little under her hands. Again, fast and loose. We can be a little more fun with it, just because that's sort of the style, to make it, again, go a little faster. I mean, we could be spending hours and hours on these pages, and if I had all the time in the world, like, I would love to do stuff like that. I mean, it's tedious, but things like that look very good, but I know my schedule. I don't want to, like, take on more than I can handle, so I developed this style, or I thought of these techniques specifically to put in this comic. Obviously, I didn't invent them, but I chose to do things like that so I could be able to, you know, produce work, like good work, in the amount of time that I have. Something like that. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one too. Up here, she's kind of looking down, so she might cast more of a shadow down here. Be a little bit. I'm gonna fix her nose a little bit. Also, I want like some actually on her nose. Yeah, something like that. Just because she is leaning forward, so there would be some shadows downward. Cool, 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 cool. I also have Under Pressure stuck in my head, so that's fun. It's a good song. And I'll call that a day for that one. I'll fix her cheek. Put a little underneath her nose. Yeah, something like that. Get out of here. I thought I erased that. Underneath the chin. Something like that, maybe. Erase some of the hair. I'll check the chat too in a sec, because we got like about halfway. About halfway with these. And the rest is just cleanup after this. Here, let me just keep going a little bit longer on this. maybe some shadow like in her mouth. And kid, again, he's just very wide-eyed. Obviously, these characters don't really have names because they're just kind of, I guess, one-offs for this scene, or this flashback, because there's kind of another one that's at the end of the chapter. Inner arm, and he casts a shadow, I guess, over here. Fix his hair. Under the chin, under the neck, under the nose, under the brow, some under her hair. I'm going to round out her chin a little bit too, because it gets a little too busy sometimes. And also under this flap, put a little bit on there. I guess so, yeah. Again, we're not being too precious with it. We're just kind of getting it done. Oh yeah, I'll take a quick break. I'll go check the chat, and then we'll do the last couple ones. I'm going back up. Flip it up. Alright, no, I'm just going back, sorry. What's the sound department? Quality sound effects. Yeah, am I making, like, sound effects? Am I, like, doing a lot of ums? And I think I do sometimes do that, because people will make fun of, like, the hissing sounds that I probably do when I'm thinking. So, I apologize. Yeah, I had never made a webtoon until about almost a year ago. I mean, I think I officially started posting it in June? I don't remember exactly when in June. I'm just kind of going up, sorry. Cool. Yeah, I mean, starting a webcomic is hard, but I think, like, especially what I would do, and like I've said, it used to be a one-shot. Just kind of, yeah, flashback is still a scene, but it's not like a current scene, I guess. Sorry. If you can, like, start small, because I definitely just wanted to write, like a 40-page comic, and that's what this was. It was just like, there's a girl, there's a mascot thing, guy, person, and another guy shows up, and they, have a difference of opinion in a difficult situation, and that's kind of, like, it's a very basic story with Junichiro and Yuna and Kawachan, but it worked, and it was just like a little personal challenge to finish it, and it just happened that Webtoon was running a contest at the same time, so I submitted it, and I submitted it, but I also started posting on Webtoon, so that kind of started me on Webtoon. I really didn't go on that website too much before. I didn't really know much about it, so you can just kind of go for it. But if you want, like, start small, because even before this one, I mentioned, I think in the first Q&A, I did a comic called That's So TJ, which was just like a goofy character that I made up, and it was like a 12-page comic. It was just a very simple, like, it's a kid, and he has a hideout in the back of a, like, dumpster area of a 7-Eleven, and some new kids are there, so he challenges them to a race, and that's, like, it's so simple, but it was just a very quick thing that I could make in, like, a short amount of time. I don't know why I tend to do that in the summer when it's, like, super hot, so I don't know why I do that, because it's very uncomfortable making a comic and working on the computer during that time frame. But if you just kind of want to write a comic, make something small, and maybe if it's something that you can expand on, like this series was, you can keep going with it. But then you have something that you can say, like, look, I finished a comic, like a full comic. You can post it online, or you can share it with friends if you don't want to, like, share it with the world, and that's, that's cool. there's no right or wrong way to start a comic, I think. I mean, there's definitely wrong ways to, start writing a comic to make, like, bring readers in versus, like, boring people with, like, exposition. But you don't know how to do that until you try to write. Writing is very hard. And I'm challenging myself with this because, I haven't written, like, a long-form thing in a while. I just like talking about, like, stories and concepts and writing with people, so it's just sometimes you just have to, like, actually start doing it instead of just talking about it, which is where I'm at right now. I've always wanted to write comics, but I hadn't really ever done it and, like, kept with it because motivation with comics is hard. It's a lot of work. Obviously, like, we're doing, like, 2-hour long stream, so this page has been about a 4-hour thing almost, and it's a lot of work, but for one page, I mean. So if you want to make a webcomic, I think you should just do it, but just know that it takes a while and you need to, like, plan ahead. And there's some really good YouTubers out there I kind of watch, and I don't really know their names because they just kind of come up if they're recommended. But there's people out there that work on webcomics, and they'll talk about, like, the do's and don'ts of starting a comic and keeping up with it. Probably better than I can because I feel like I'm still pretty new at this. But I've worked on other projects. I kind of know how, like, pipeline and time frame and production work. So I try and just do as best as I can with myself. Obviously, because I have work starting soon that's going to take away my time a little bit. That will be a new thing for me to figure out, and I hope people will be very patient when I figure that out in the next couple months. But I will definitely keep people. I mean, I feel like I do keep people in the loop pretty much all the time. You guys hear a lot about, like, what I'm doing. I'm pretty open with my schedule because I'm a little more sporadic of a person. I keep pretty consistent updates, but because I work in freelance and I'm suddenly working on something else, it makes sense to me that I would update people. So I don't know. Oh, sorry, I accidentally did that. Maybe that's oversharing. I don't know if that's the best way to handle it, but it's how I've been handling it. I just kind of think I should be transparent with people when, updates are going to be slow, or when I'm busy, or why I'm busy with things. And, it'll be interesting. 2019 will be very good, and it'll also be very interesting. I'm excited for it, though. But right now I'm selecting, because I kind of have everything unrasterized. All these panels are shape layers. So I could just rasterize them, but I keep them as shape layers for some reason. This is just how I've always done it. And I could probably really help myself by not doing that. But this way I think you get a cleaner cut. So I'm just selecting all of the white areas outside of the panels. And I'm going to just go through and delete all the stuff outside from every layer all at once. So I'm going to go shadow, backspace, background, skirt line, and then that should be everything. I'm just going to double check. The only thing now I have to do, and I'm not going to do it on the streams, is obviously the speech bubbles. Oh, something didn't get rid of. Hang on. Oh, is he still on a different layer? Oh, he is! Okay. Sorry. Up here. These lines are being goofy. Okay. Okay, yeah. Alright, so then this is basically page 2. That means right now I have 3 full pages done for book 3. Book 4, whoops. What is counting? And I'm going to switch back over to the chat because I'm pretty sure, like, there's nothing else to do with this page. This page looks pretty good. There's shadows, there's the skirt. I'm trying to think of everything on the list. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything is in there that we need to have done. I'm just going back up a little bit more. It's been a while. There's more of the chats. People talking about BTS, BTS, BTS. If I ever use sound on my comics. I don't think you can. Unless you're a featured person, and I'm not featured, I'm in Discover. I've looked into this because I was very interested in the idea of it, but I think putting sound on webtoons is still something that's in beta. I don't know if they're going to release it so other people can do it. Oh, Korean skincare. Yeah, I do like face masks, which I might do after because it's very, very dry. It's winter. So I might put on a face mask before I go to bed. Yes. No, Korean dramas are very fun. I am a big fan of that. It's cool. I've already smashed subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. I don't do too much with my YouTube channel. Who knows if that'll be a thing in the future, if I do more. Because I just kind of do live streams on here, and on like a rare occasion I'll do like a speed paint kind of thing. Sweet Home. I have never read Sweet Home. I've read a little bit of Giant Nerd Boyfriend. I really like Scoob and Shag, like I've said before. I just started reading True Beauty, which is pretty good. And I like Lore Olympus, which is pretty good too. Lore Olympus has a very good art style. I'm a good K-pop fan. You know what, and I'm telling you, like, when I've said K-pop fans can be kind of crazy, like, this is fans in general, like, for any fandom anywhere, there's always, like, a section of people that are nuts and embarrassing. There's a larger section of fandoms that are not this way, so I hope I'm not, like, saying, like, you are crazy if you like, you know, K-drama or K-pop. I really don't mean to say that, and I know that's not, like, all of the whole K-pop fandom, so I'm sorry if that came across that way. I didn't mean that. Hooky. I started reading Hooky. It was very long. I didn't get too far into it. I did read Freaking Romance recently. I'm not subscribed to it, I don't think, but Beetle Hands. I saw Beetle Hands on the front page somewhere. Midnight Poppyland. Don't think I saw that one. Freaking Romance is very interesting. Oh, yeah. I don't know any idea for a story yet. I didn't realize there was a subscribe webtoons limit either. Lore Olympus is very cool. Croaking. I think I've heard of Croaking. I'm trying to think of what the art looks like, but I feel like I've seen the logo and I can't think of the art. Oh my gosh. Honk. I know someone was like, there's always fire alarms and things going by, fire trucks, I mean. Yeah, it's nice when people put out their recommendations, because again, I have a very small amount of things that I read. Sometimes I check, like, the sidebar that has, like, by rating, so anything that's got, like, 10 ratings, because they're brand new, so no one's given them, like, anything worse. I like to read, like, new authors, especially a lot of, like, kid authors, who are clearly, like, a young, new comic artists, and they might not be, like, all that good at starting it yet. I always check that section out, even if I don't subscribe to anything. Sometimes you find some cool stuff over there. I'm sorry, I'm reading back on these. I can't talk about it for spoiling. Oh, for Lore Olympus, or Croaking. Oh, yeah. Oh, spoiling your story idea. No, I mean, you definitely don't have to share too much of it if that's your thing. Tail Care. Little Wild too. Yeah, I mean, here's one of the things. Making a comic takes a long time. Bye, everyone who has already left. I've just seen a lot of bye. Yeah, obviously, like, a lot of the things with this story is I try to keep some things simple, and I'm expanding as I go. So comics are hard to draw. They take a lot of time. So I think if you are doing a lot of complex things with 10,000 characters, you really need to be in it to win it, or maybe, like, cut things down so that it's simple for people to understand. And I don't know. It's very hard because some people have very big ideas, and I used to be in school for animation, obviously, because I went into animation, and people would start talking about their student films, and they'd have these very grand ideas, and, you know, you had to make, what, like a 3-minute film, and they'd have, like, a full, like, 10-minute script, and you'd have to be like, well, you're never gonna finish that in the amount of time for school. Like, you can hold on to that and write it later, but for, you know, what the time limit is and what constraints you have, you're not going to be able to finish your film. And people would get really mad when you'd tell them that. and then a couple months later they can't finish their film, so they have to try something else. You just have to really think of like, how long does it take me to do this? How long does it take me to write this and convey this idea? Because you can do very, very crazy ideas and stuff, but sometimes you have to like simplify like the cast, simplify the story. Don't make something that's going to take 10 years to finish, although, I mean, who knows? People sometimes work on webcomics for years and years, and I'm going to try, I think I have about 10 books in me for this story. I think that's about as long as the story will go before like it starts just repeating itself and getting old. Before I want to write other things, because I'm going to want to work on other things after this too. I love this story a lot, and I love these characters, and my radiator turned on so you can hear the hissing. And it smells like a radiator now. The radiator's like never on, but it's so cold that I just turned it on today. I'm just gonna leave it. It's the end of the stream anyways, like, who cares? Yeah, if you have, like, obviously I didn't have, like, a full story when I started to make Yuna and Kawachan, but, like, right as I was in the middle of finishing book 1, I had the rest of the story, so I'm going with it. I definitely am not, like, I don't have no direction, I guess. I have an idea of where it's going. I have scripts, or, like, outlines. I have, like, book 5 written already, at least the first draft, and I have, like, the idea for book 6. I just haven't typed it out. So, I mean, I have, like, future ideas. I'm not just like, oh, and then they go here, and then they do this. I have, you know, a plan of what happens. But that's a good thing to do if you're writing a comic. At least try and come up with where you want it to go before you get into it. Because if you don't know where it's going to just drag, and you're going to be confused, and it might not pace very well. Just at least get an idea, and then you can come up with all the middle stuff, you know. But webtoons are fun. I mean, they're fun and they're hard, but I have a lot of fun working on this one. And it's cool because I get to, you know, people get to see it because webtoons has a lot of people on it. So it's just nice. Yeah. I like people coming up with their stuff, though. I really hope, like, you know, go out and make a story because it's really rewarding when you can finish something. I hope I haven't, like, turned people off of, like, don't make things too hard, but, I mean, you can do whatever you want, really. You don't have to follow anything that I say, so, it's just cool. I like when people create things. I like when people write. I'm very, very supportive of people writing things and making their own comics, so go for it if that's what you want to do. Seriously. I'm sorry, I think I did call Kawachan a he. I usually don't. I usually just say they. People are now being like, I think it was she. I think what people think about, like, people assume that Kawachan is now a girl because there was the gender bend in the first Q&A. I just went with the appearance of the costume, not specifically the person in the costume. So the person, there is no, like, full reveal, so if I accidentally say she or he, that's not, you know, an official thing. That's just me, you know, doing that. But yeah, a lot of people have thought that it's she because of, gosh, that thing is loud. They must have just turned it on. I need a little bit more heat, though, so I'm gonna keep it going. What was I saying? I really just jump around. I'm so sorry if I, like, lose everything. Kawachan is the powerhouse of the cell. Did I miss much? I hope not. Aw. Well, welcome anyways, K-pop and Harry Potter. And these streams, obviously, Kawachan's gender is Kawachan. Yeah, I don't know. Leaving doesn't exist? Yeah, it does. I mean, we're gonna be done soon. People always think a bear. I think I've said it's a puppy, but it definitely looks like a teddy bear. So, maybe it's like a bear dog kind of thing. But Kawachan is supposed to be a dog. All-Star doesn't exist. You shut your mouth. All-Star does exist. Yeah. It's just right now, the character Kawachan, the mascot that, like, lives in their town and is, like, I'm turning the radiator down. That is so annoying. Oh my god. Oh, it won't turn. Oh no. I gotta get better leverage. Alright, so that, I closed the valve, sort of. It's still going, but I think it'll stop in a second. Maybe. Who knows? That was annoying. That's the kind of fun stuff you get when you join these streams. The exciting adventures of turning my radiator down on a cold day. Yeah, no, Kawachan is supposed to be a dog. Bear dog is fan canon. People have said a bear, but I feel like Kawachan is just like it's a fictional character. Like, it's a costume for a fictional character. The fictional character Kawachan is a girl, puppy, whatever. And that's it. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Absolutely. I'm always down for people talking about All-Star. Here's a fun fact that definitely dates me a little bit. Back in elementary school, we had to pick our, oh, what was it? we wanted to pick, like, a mascot for our elementary school, and they let the kids vote. So we became the All-Stars because Shrek was really big around that time. I think it had just come out. So, yeah, we became the All-Stars because of that. And I think it still is considered the All-Stars. That's partially due to me and Shrek. Shrek was a big influence on us back then. So, I don't know if facts date you. I think, just says, like, when I was a child was when the first Shrek movie came out. I think the first Shrek movie came out when I was 10. I don't know how old that movie is, but I have a feeling it's, like, probably 15 years. Oh, it would be 16 years if I was 10. Yeah. Yeah, Shrek's 16 years old, guys. That's gonna get a 20th anniversary in the next 4 years, and people are gonna feel like, oh my god, I'm so old. I don't usually do that. Like, oh man, I feel so old. But especially when I talk about, like, the anime that I like is so far removed from, like, what anime is out now. Because I'll talk about, like, oh yeah, Naruto and stuff, because I was big into Naruto, and I was big into all that, and I watched, like, Bleach, and I only watched, like, the first season of Bleach, and then I got bored with it. But that's, like, that stuff isn't really the big, like, shows anymore. It's just crazy. That, like, I also, though, maybe it is still big, because I went to GameStop, and they had a Shonen Jump fighting game, and it had Luffy from One Piece, it had Naruto, and there was a third one. Was it Ichigo from Bleach? I don't know. I don't watch anime anymore, but I think it was something like that. Yeah, I definitely don't do, like, oh man, I feel so old, oh my gosh. But, there's definitely things that have gotten older, and, like, you know, things have changed from when I've been, like, into anime and stuff, so it's very different. Ooh, Tic Tacs. I'm not gonna eat a Tic Tac this time. So that's fine. I'm 26, like, 26, yeah, Jump Force. I don't know what that is, it just looked like a fighting game. It's just funny. Yeah, Shrek is 16 years old. I mean, it'll be 16 this year. Oh no, it'll be 17 this year. Wait, I don't know what time of year Shrek came out. Huh. Jump Force. I'll have to look into it. It looked very funny. I was laughing my butt off, actually, when I saw that poster. Because I came to buy Pokemon. And then I see, like, Naruto looking at me. It's just funny. Shonen. Is Shonen Jump even a thing anymore? It's probably not. I don't think it's a print anymore. It used to be, like, a big monthly magazine. Like, just a chunky bunch of comics, and now I think it's an online thing. I don't think they print it anymore. That would make sense. I wonder when they stopped. I don't know. It used to be very exciting with Shonen. Shonen was pretty fun. Want sentient monsters in the story? You want sentient monsters? I mean, again, we're gonna find out more of what the monsters are. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I obviously know what happens with that. I'm merging this down. I'm just going to combine. Okay, perfect. I just saw there was a 2-layer. But we're going to go into the monsters because we definitely didn't do that in the first couple chapters. But there's some setup for what it is. Obviously, we've seen the little ones. When do I usually stream? I always stream before, like, the book comes out. So when I start working on the pages, I do a stream for, like, the first page. Because the first page almost never spoils anything because it's always a flashback. So it's always a good way to stream. And I don't do regular streams, mostly. I have a Patreon, and I haven't done streams on Patreon. I'm trying to build that up a little bit, because I'm not very good with it yet. I think you can live stream on there, so maybe I'll live stream for Patreon, maybe I'll live stream on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't figured out that, because I'm just kind of always working on comics, all the freaking time. So we'll see what happens. This year's gonna be so interesting with, that monster at office building, and they're, like, I remember that, oh, will re... I don't know. Yeah, I've never watched Tremors. You were definitely talking about it yesterday, which is interesting, because I hadn't heard people talk about Tremors in a while, but after you said that, I kept seeing things about Tremors that day, so, I don't know. Maybe it's... Want me to tell you several jokes? You're allowed... Yes, if you would like to tell several jokes, you can. Yee. I'll hear some jokes. And then I'll probably wrap up, because I want to make some hot chocolate and, like, get ready for bed. Because I guess I work tomorrow still. You guys might have tomorrow off. I do not. I don't know, I'm just seeing if people are typing jokes. And I'm applying some lip balm. What did the angry cheese man say to the other cheese man? What did the dog... Oh, there's too many! Goo to hell. Hot chocolate and sheet mask. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea tonight. I mean, because it's what? Let's see. How cold is it right now? How cold is the weather at this moment? Because it was supposed to drop. Oh, it's 18. You know, and I'm from Michigan, so this is pretty normal for me. Oh, yeah, like tomorrow it's going to be 9 in the morning, 9 degrees. Very cold day. And then it's going to get back up to 30 and back up to 40. Oh, jeez. See, I'm used to it just being cold and staying cold. And it's just been not that way this winter. But it's been gross everywhere else, I guess. What did the dog say when it sat on sandpaper? Rough, rough. Okay. Goodness. Oh, no. I don't know, what is it? It's 9 in the afternoon. Oh, that's a good song, actually. Wait, no. Wait. 5 in the afternoon. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong song. Wait, is it 9 in the afternoon? No, it's 9 in the afternoon. That's the Panic at the Disco song? Is that who sings that song? I didn't really listen to Panic at the Disco when I was younger. Can unload one with a pitchfork. Aww. Atheism is a non-profit organization. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't care about that. Yeah. But yeah. That's kind of where we are. This is, I feel good about this page getting done. I'm so excited to go on to page 4, which is just going to take me forever. But that's fine. Sometimes you have to push yourself, and that's what I'm telling myself. Just keep going. Oh, I love Sandstorm. Yeah, that's a good one. Wait, Sandstorm, oh shoot, I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm gonna stop it there. That was pretty good. Got a lot in there, and I'm happy that the connection stuck. We were able to keep the stream from being interrupted by the internet, which is always a blessing in disguise, and yeah, this is good. thank you guys for joining me on the stream. The Streamkend, I think is what I'd type it, but that's a horrible name for it, where I stream in one weekend to get a page done. This is really nice that you guys enjoy this comic. I'm very thankful for your support and like coming out and just, you know, doing stuff like this, like the stream. It's very cool. I'll definitely keep doing it for different books. I'll probably do it when book 5 comes out in the future, but we'll see. Again, this year's going to be a lot of learning on my part of how to schedule this and how to work on these. And I'll post about that so people kind of understand, and I hope people are patient when I probably have some slowness with updates in the future, but as long as we keep going, it'll still happen. It's definitely not going to stop with anything. It just might take some time. So thank you guys for coming out. I will... Aw, thank you. Yeah, have a good night. I don't know, people aren't really all at nighttime, so... if it is nighttime, have a good night. If it is the daytime, have a good day. If it's early in the morning, go to bed right now. It's 2 in the morning where you live, go take a snooze. Unless you don't have work tomorrow, which a lot of people do in the US. Thank you guys. Oh, I love these like fun, these fun little like, I don't know what they're called. They're not emojis and they're not emoticons, but they're as close to emoticons as they can. We want merch. Merch is hard to come up with because money is an issue, and also space and storing is an issue, which I've kind of touched on in the Q&A, but it could always happen in the future. So thank you guys. I like talking to you guys. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock where I'm at too. So have a great night. I'll definitely keep you posted with more pages. Thank you for coming out to the stream. Have a lovely day. Goodbye, everybody.